Benvenuta. Welcome to my channel. On July 25th, 1937, Don Dolindo writes, I am writing now, 8 days after a momentous event has once again transformed my life, putting an end, after nearly 16 and a half years, to one of my greatest sufferings and humiliation, that of suspension from celebrating Holy Mass. It was 8 o'clock in the morning that day when I found out. I understood that I needed to go immediately, so I interrupted my prayers and went directly to the cathedral. Mass was just beginning, and I thought about remaining for Mass and receiving communion, but I quickly gave my hand to Mother Mary and said to her, "Oh, Mama, you know that I am a donkey, so please guide me." I felt a gentle push to go first to the Monsignor Vicar. So I went. Promptly, Monsignor appeared from a side door in the living room and said with a smile, "Well, Rotola, Rome has reinstated you. You can begin celebrating Mass right away." I was stunned, but remained calm and said, "Monsignor, you have truly given me tremendous joy. So I can start celebrating Mass this very morning?" He replied, "Yes, go to any church, and afterwards we will write up an authorization in complete regulation." I asked him for a written permission, and he told me that there was no need. However, when I told him that otherwise no one would believe it, he relented and wrote it out for me. I walked down the stairs, praising God. And I remembered when, over 16 years ago, on Friday, March 4th, 1921, I had walked down the stairs of the Holy Office after receiving my suspension. And I must confess that at that time I had praised God as well, and even more. Indeed, after the news from the vicar, I praised God lavishly, yet at the same time I was still grateful for my humiliation. I realized even more its value, and it seemed as if a treasure had been taken from me. I said to the Lord, "Thy will be done. Do with me whatever you will. The glory is all yours." I must confess that I even felt a little lost. And so, like a little child, I took hold of Mother Mary's skirt and affectionately entreated her, "Oh, Mama, guide me." I went to the cathedral and met up first with a priest to whom I said, "I'm going right now to celebrate Mass. Please bless me." After saying that, I could barely continue, for I was about to cry. The same thing happened when I ran into Canon Savarese, who cried along with me. Other canons also wept for joy together with me. An explosion of joyful praises to God has been ringing out from everyone with increasing intensity during the past 8 days. The great joy of the clergy was joined to the joy of the people. What struck me the most were the continuous praises to God springing forth from so many hearts. The other day a priest came to my house, fell on his knees, and, with arms wide open, praised God and wept profusely. Similar scenes were repeated during the week, filling me with confusion, but also gratitude to God that He alone be glorified. That morning, Monsignor told me to choose a church in which to celebrate. asking me where I wished to celebrate. I requested to be assigned to Santa Teresa al Museo, where I would be under the watchful eyes of Our Lady. There, during the octave of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, I could celebrate Mass for her with great joy. He assigned me to Santa Teresa for the first 3 days. I hastened to inform my family and then went to Santa Teresa. At Santa Teresa, the Father Provincial, upon hearing the good news, was so moved that he was near tears and, hugging me tightly to his heart, repeated over and over, "My son, the glory of God, glory be to God, for the glory of God." And he wept. Some members of the community came down, and again there was an outpouring of joy. They wanted me to celebrate Holy Mass at noon instead of at 11, as I had requested, so that they would have time to inform others, and they too would be able to attend. They also prepared a small reception with music and singing to follow after the Mass. I entrusted myself to Our Lady, confident that she would assist me, for I feared I might not remember Holy Mass anymore after 16.5 years. But I remembered it well, thanks to my mama. I truly felt I was assisted by her. I exulted in her maternal love. Oh, Our Lady is truly my mama and our mama. It is not an easy task to describe how I felt during this Mass and in the following ones up to this very day. It is beyond me. Some experiences are too great for words. I could not comprehend how a priest who celebrates Mass could ever fall into sin. So great is the sanctifying power of just one Mass. I have felt closer than ever to Our Lady during these past days, and I can't express how inspiring and sweet it was to think of her at the altar. She is always the one who assists at the sacrifice of Calvary. This morning, Monsignor De Agostini, the theologian from Benevento, came and insisted that I let him serve at my Mass. I was completely taken aback by this act of humility. I knelt at his feet, wishing to be blessed by him, yet he insisted on serving when I celebrated Mass. I experienced then the enormous difference between a lay altar server and one who is authorized by the Church. Most admirable is every order in the Church. Later on, Don Dolindo adds this significant note. The effusion of support that I've received these days has been deeply touching. Telegrams have arrived from Cardinal Pignatelli of Belmonte, from Bishop Sanna and Monsignor Lipolis, along with many letters from so many others, all surging with joy. Nonetheless, humiliation is vastly more beautiful and more pleasing to God. Human nature rebels against humiliation, it is true, but by it the soul is purified like gold in the crucible. Arrivederci, till next time. Gesù, pensaci tu. Jesus, you take over. Take care of everything. Jesus, I trust in you.